The ship was called the Whispering Void, a title that suited both its purpose and its design. It moved through the non-space of the galactic core lanes not with a roar, but with a silent, shimmering displacement of reality. Its crew, like most crews in the consortium, was a tapestry of species, each a specialist in their function, each communicating in the standardized clicks, glyphs, and telepathic pulses that served as common trade language. Names were not used. They were inefficient, personal, and for many species, irrelevant. Identifiers were sufficient: navigator, engineer, life support, communications. She was communications. A being from a species the consortium, catalog listed as Lumin. Her people communicated through complex patterns of bioluminescent hues that shimmered across their skin, paired with soft, melodic hums. Their true names were songs of light, unique and intricate, a private symphony known only to kin and closest bondmates. To others, she was a pattern of soft blue and silver, and the identifier glyph that translated roughly as clear signal. The human was the new engineer, a last-minute replacement on their deep-range data collection mission. He was designated solid state. He was quieter than the stories suggested. He did not shout or laugh too loudly or break things with uncontrolled strength. He repaired them. He would spend hours in the crawl spaces, his presence announced only by the echo of a soft, tuneless whistle and the efficient snap of tools. He observed consortium protocols scrupulously, using only standard identifiers. Yet he watched. His eyes, a plain and steady brown, would follow the dance of light on her skin as she wove incoming data streams from 100 stars. She found it disconcerting. Most species ignored her light displays, seeing them as mere functional signaling. His attention felt like a focused beam, warm and slightly heavy. The mission was routine until it was not. A gravitational eddy, uncharted, spat them out of the lane too close to a dying pulsar. Radiation alarm screamed. Shields buckled. A power conduit in the engineering bay overloaded, spraying the compartment with corrosive plasma. Solid state was there. The ship-wide comms crackled with his voice, calm but strained. Primary plasma conduit ruptured in engineering. Sealing blast doors. Life support on secondary. Do not, repeat, do not attempt access. From her station, Clear Signal saw the vitals from his suit. Spiking temperature. Falling pressure. He was trapped, sealing others out to save the ship, while the corrosive ate at his environment and his suit. Captain, a hulking Gren whose identifier was Stone Mind, pulsed a command. We must reroute all power to forward shields to withstand the pulsar's next emission. Engineering is compromised. She understood the logic. The human was one. The ship and its crew of 12 were many. It was the calculus of the void. Yet his quiet whistling in the crawl spaces, the way he had once recalibrated her console without being asked, the weight of his watching her light, it all formed a strange, illogical knot in her core. Her lights flared a desperate, discordant crimson. The reroute can be done through the tertiary data trunk, she hummed, her melodic voice urgent. It runs adjacent to engineering. I can channel shield power and maintain an integrity field around his compartment. But I must do it manually. The auto systems are damaged. Stone Mind pulsed disapproval. The risk to you in the primary systems is significant. It is my function, she signaled, her light softening to a determined, steady gold. I am communications. I maintain connections. She was in the access trunk, a tight tunnel lined with pulsing fiber light. The ship groaned around her. Through a secondary hatch viewport, she could see into engineering. The human was on his knees, one arm clasped against a suit breech, his tool in the other, still trying to weld a seal on a secondary valve. His face was visible through his helmet. Beaded with sweat, jaw set, She worked fast, her fingers delicate as she spliced lines, rerouting the shield energy, diverting a trickle of it to generate a weak integrity field around his position. It would hold back the corrosion, maybe. It would not last. He saw her. His head turned. He gave a short, sharp nod. Then he pointed, urgently, at a junction box above her. A secondary plasma leak, unseen by her sensors, was burning through the casing directly over her. She froze, a flare of panic in white light across her skin. He was moving, stumbling, grabbing a portable sealant canister from his belt. He lunged, arm extending through the access port, and sprayed the junction. The foam hardened instantly, containing the leak. The effort cost him. He slumped back, his suit vitals spiking dangerously. The ship pitched. The pulsar's wave hit them. Lights died, then flickered back on emergency power. The reroute held. The shields held. Slowly, the gravitational stress eased. They were a clear dot in the sudden, ringing silence. Stone Mind pulsed. Report. Clear signal. Trembling, her light patterns chaotic with adrenaline, and relief hummed. Shield stable. Engineering. Contained. Solid state is alive. Suit integrity failing. The rescue took time. When they finally cut through and hauled the human out, his suit was scarred and pitted. Medical protocols were administered. He would recover, they said, thanks to his species' resilient biology and a timely integrity field. Days passed on the slow journey back to a way station. The human was back on duty, moving a little slower, his right arm in a mobility brace. He would still watch her lights. The knot in her core remained. On the final watch cycle before port, she found him in the observation blister, staring at the static-like spray of the galactic core. She stood beside him, her own lights pulsing a gentle, inquisitive turquoise dot. He spoke first, his voice still that quiet, measured tone. I never thanked you. For the integrity field. That was quick thinking. She hummed a polite, standard denial. It was my function. You contained the damage. You also sealed the leak in the trunk. A small smile touched his mouth. A fair trade. He was silent for a long moment, watching the stars. Then he said, Your light patterns. They're not just comes, are they? It was not a question. She stilled, her luminescence dimming to a cautious, muted glow. To speak of this was not done. They are my people's mode of communication, she offered carefully. They're beautiful, he said simply, especially when you're not thinking about it, when you're deep in the data stream. It flows like water, like a song. Her light sparked in surprise, a flash of gold and deep blue. No one had ever seen that. They saw information, not form, not beauty, he continued, still looking out at the void, as if speaking to it. On my world, we have things like that. Not lights, but music, ways of putting what's inside out. And we have names, real names, not just identifiers. He finally turned to look at her, his gaze that same warm, heavy beam. I've been listening, watching. I think I know yours. Every particle in her being froze. Her light patterns halted, locked in a moment of stunned, silent white. It was impossible. Her name song was private, sacred, known only to her mother creator, and lost to the void since her passing. It was a sequence of color and tone she sometimes let play in loneliness, in the dark of her quarters, never in the open. No one had ever remembered it. No one had ever even tried to hear it. He did not speak in clicks or glyphs. He did not hum. He used his own voice, a human voice, and he did not sing the light. But he spoke its meaning, its essence, translating the untranslatable into soft, rounded syllables. He said her name Dot. It was not a perfect replication. It was an echo in a different medium, a sketch of a masterpiece. But it was correct. In the shape of the word, in the cadence, she heard the soft silver dawn of her homeworld's rings, the deep blue pulse of its oceans, the specific, joyful green of her own maturation day. It was her dot, her luminescence, which had frozen, exploded. A cascade of color filled the observation blister auroras of recognition, shock, profound and aching gratitude. It was a symphony in light, wordless, pouring out of her. She could not stop it. She did not want to. The human, solid state, the engineer, the man who remembered, watched the display. He did not look confused or alarmed. He simply nodded, as if acknowledging a truth. A faint shimmer was in his own eyes. "You carry it with you," he said softly. "All the time. I just listened." She found her voice, a whisper of hum and tone. "Why?" "Because," he said, as if it were the simplest equation in the universe, "a thing that beautiful should not go unheard." He paused. "And because it is who you are, not what you do." Around them, the whispering void drifted towards the gleaming pinprick of the way station. The vast, impersonal galaxy wheeled on. But in that small blister of glass and light, something profound had been exchanged. Not a violation, but a gift. Not an identifier, but a name. She did not speak his name, for she did not know it. But she let her light settle into a new pattern, a steady, warm, golden frequency directed solely at him. It was not a consortium signal. It was a thank you. It was a connection dot, and for the first time since she had left her shimmering seas, she did not feel alone in the silent dark.